Hey, we live. Oh, now we're live. There we go. Took a minute on Twitch. How's everybody doing today? I need to make some more beats. I'm having to go through, play some old shit. I don't have any new stuff. It's old as hell. My bad, Elliot. Hey, Bookworm. What up, Cora? Yeah, this is old as hell, but yeah, y'all gotta watch that new breakdown. We're halfway through Jay-Z month. I made it 3 weeks without doing a Kanye beat for Jay-Z month when there were so many options. What up, Constro? Hey, who's seen The Revenant, by the way? You have, Constro, right? Because I saw last night. And especially after seeing it, whatever Illmind said was like doubly fucking stupid. Like, I sorta know what he meant, but also at the same time, he's a moron. I'll switch it up a little bit while some people show up. We got a full ass queue. Ready to get into it. Elliot, how'd you know? How'd you know? Alright, I won't spoil it, but I was like in the third row in the recliners. Ooh, it was dope. Quite a spectacle. Those nature shots, it was like, goddamn. We got some solid numbers. Let's just jump right into the queue. Having fun turning this knob over here. Yeah, these drums suck. This is like an 8-month-old beat. I was just going through looking for shit I hadn't played recently. Alright, let's get the bombs ready. Where are my CPU cycles going? What's the holdup? Alright, we got the bombs. Oh, they ready. Oh, they ready. Alright. Let's kick this some bitch right off. First up, we got Rembrandt. The toothpaste? The artist? Helter Skelter, this is called.
I'm the king, man.
Let's hear it.
I run the underworld, guy.
Hey, actually, real quick. You know, when there's people talking on public service announcement, interlude, the track off the Black Album. There's the first one. That one, if you know what Just Blaze sounds like, it's Just Blaze. Second one I always thought was from some movie. I never knew. But that's just Blaze too. They're both Just Blaze. It's just him talking. on both of them. It sounds like some woman, but it's just plays pitched up. All right, anyway, here we go.
I'm the king, man. I run the underworld, guy. I decide who does what and where they do it at. When am I going to run around and act like I'm some teeny bopper somewhere for somebody else's money? I make the money.
This Fat Booty's coming at some point for sure.
Nickels.
Free Yasin, baby. Free Yasin. Got bands by the 100. Got bands by the 100. Got bands by the 100. Bands by the 100. Bands by the 100. Master's a little overcompressed. Those drums aren't coming through like they should. Got bands by the 100. Anything you ever said that you done, you know that I done it. When I talk that shit, you know I never stay funny. Don't come at me, you don't want it. This like feel could be cool, but the mix is like completely overwrought. It's way too squeezed down. It's not hitting like it should. We got too much ambiance on top of the drums, and like it's a little corny. That switch up was a little strange. Oh, what's that? Filter sweet. Toronto says this is some vampire rap stuff. This is a good opener. It's solid, you know, not the most unique shit, but it's got a good like vibe to it. Elliot hates the snare, but everything works pretty decently except the drums. Yeah, sonically that's not where it needs to be. I think you want to get a little bit more punch out of those drums. Right now they're buried under a wall of other shit, which is like, it's good to have that other shit, but you might want to do some light side chaining, make sure it comes through, and just turn the drums up, and then make sure you're not squashing the master too much. Not bad though. Let's see what else people say. That switch up was a little weird, but yeah, not bad. Next up is Zobu, not Zoblu. Let's hear what he's got. It's called Gone. Sampled Ellie Goulding or something, or Francis. It's just too much for me right now. This is like travel vlog dubstep intro. Not quite dubstep, but definitely still in travel vlog territory. It's like some dude in like a monastery wearing American apparel, and he's like bowing to someone, and he's smiling like, damn, this is some intense shit. Now he's like on the Great Wall doing the selfie spin, looking at the camera. This selfie on like a tuk-tuk. And they got the underwater housing, they got the selfie view, swimming with the manta rays. That's all I can think of when I hear this. Toronto says drums need to hit harder. I agree there. Biggest Loser finale type beat, says Reagan. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. All right. That sample, yeah, it sort of sets you off in a corny place. Because that could have straight up been a Coldplay song. That could have been like a million different songs, and not in a good way. None of that's ever really a good thing, but you could have maybe made that sample work. Probably not. I don't know. Just like the piano, just on every beat, and then there's like big sort of reverb drums, and nothing's like really hitting. It felt like was like really punching and still had that vibe to it. That's whatever, but yeah, I think the drums could cut through a lot more, and there could be more bass. There could just be more everything, but also that's corny for a number of reasons, as I had described. But if that's what you're trying to make, you might as well try to make it good. All right. Next up, we got L9. Don't know who that is. First time. Let's see what you got. Drums are a little weak, a little too quiet. I agree. Fire guy. Knowledge is definitely like one note. If you listen to the whole tape of his, it's like, if you're not freestyling over it, you get so bored of it. We need so much more on the drums. I like the seamless sampling. You got a good loop out of there. If the drums were sitting right, they're just too quiet right now. And you could probably, I wish they were a little dirtier. They're a little too clean as well. This would be real nice. But I like that drum fill. That was nice. Get some bass on there. Get the drums right. That's going to be solid. It's already pretty solid. All right, next up we got Garager. The track, I made this with GarageBand. Fucking start. Start buttons, bro. Oh shit. I'm seeding at like megabyte a second. There we go. It's a miracle I didn't drop any frames. Let's try this again. All right, Garager made this with GarageBand. Don't worry about that's just Joel spamming. If I ban him, it'll only make him that much stronger. Missing a lot of. I like that. The drums are pretty weak right now. It's a theme so far. Really, everything is pretty weak right now. I'm missing a lot of punch, and I'm missing a lot of low end. So I hope some bass comes in right now. We need more drums. We need some bass. But I like the overall like concept, you know, hitting those chops. You can clean them up. I hear some clicking right there. You can clean that up for sure. Fades out. Oh yeah, that was made with GarageBand. See what you can do to get some better drums inside GarageBand. I know there's some good kits built into Logic. I'm not sure if any of those made it over to GarageBand or not. But take a look. See what you can look up about like Logic drums inside of GarageBand. I think that would help. We definitely need some bass on that, but not bad. Not bad. Just needs more. All right, next up we got P Young Ho. this goes. We got some arpeggio presets. Yeah, if you want to beat on stream, you got to submit ahead of time on the website, beatbreakdown.net. Submissions were open all yesterday, but they're filled up. Now they're closed today. So these are all filled up. You have to wait until next week, but they open every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central. The drums are super weak. That's 4 in a row. I see K Twist in the queue. I don't think he'll let us down. These are like Luigi's Mansion noises. This is just really noodling around with some synths on top of some weak drums. It doesn't seem to really have a purpose. It just seems like a bunch of notes and shit. Like some of the sounds sound kind of interesting, but they mostly really don't. So I think you'll want to stay more focused instead of just sort of playing around so much. Alright, here's Mkata, aka Marco Voltio. He said, here's a beat that is faster and with more punch, Mr. Sandurz, sir. Okay. See if they can at least come in. Nice. Let's see. That kick's hitting at least. You always hit some like real spooky chords and melodies and shit. The snare and the claps are a little too quiet. All the sounds are super derivative though. We've heard them a million times. It at least rides a little bit. But it sounds like a bunch of other shit, especially with all these drum sounds from everywhere else. Typical trap beat, says Toronto. Echo says, sounds professional though. Yeah, like this could definitely be something someone rapped over. And you know, it's got the video. You know, like when people get their videos shot by someone who has a DSLR, and they think that that's all it takes for it to be good. And so it's like, yeah, they got the Canon, and then it's like, it's got the micro stutters for days, every fucking video. I'm not even talking about the editing. I just mean like it's so shaky when they're filming because it doesn't have. I can see the video right now, and it does have those stutter edits like crazy, but not terrible. Not like my favorite shit, but it could stand to be a little bit more original. And I think you could turn your snares and claps up a little bit, but the kick was hitting decently hard. Our next up was Chief is Shit. Or some girl laughing at the shit you said in her DMs. That's the laugh she makes every time you text her. I don't know about that falling scent. The drums are at least hitting kind of nice. I do like that main synth. Whoa. Uh-oh, we got the drop, fuck the world, or drop the world. What's the name of that song? That Hit Boy song? There was that preset right in there. Where did it go? Now we're in the how about now territory with the bass. At least you're trying to blend some styles. I'm not fucking how about now. Well, that's the bass sound, but what has that exact bass pattern? I can't think of what it is. Not bad. Out of the like trap beats so far tonight, that one's the best. It had the most variety. And was mixed the nicest and covered the most ground stylistically. So, but at the same time, you were using presets that have like been used for fucking ever. So, at least mix that up. But not bad. Jesus, this is loud. This is ordinary. Let's hear it. Horns don't seem like they fit with the other stuff. I like the sample though. I think you could do a little bit more to sort of class it up a little bit. Some more bass. The drums are sitting pretty nice. That was hitting decently. So I think you could just build it out a little bit more. Bring it more into 2016. But real solid. Everyone seemed to like that. That was ordinary. That was a direct upload. So it might be on a SoundCloud someday. Who knows? I agree. The sample, if you could time stretch the sample so it could go down a couple semitones and then still be at that tempo, or just pitch it down and see how the timing works out like that. I think it was a little too chipmunky for my taste. I agree with Sean. Wavy. Thugbox said it was boring. I was starting to feel that same way. That's what I was saying. You could probably build it out a little bit more, but it was a nice start overall. Here's K-Twist, who always brings the heat. Let's see. Fake this out. I can't decide if I would have liked it more if it just kept going straight tempo how it was. Missing that snare that left. It was sitting so nice. I think I would like it more like this if you didn't give us the sample earlier before the beat came in. It had nice bass and all. I think I sort of like the concept of splitting it up like that. To where you have those gaps. At the same time, I feel like it would have just rode nicer if it wasn't like that. Or if you cleaned it up a little bit so it doesn't sound so choppy. And if we didn't hear it sort of ride a few tones down a little smoother at the start. But I definitely want to hear what that sounds like with the pitch that it was in the intro as well. But the drums were nice. The programming anyway. Elliot says he doesn't like the snare. Yeah, I think you could pick some different snare sounds. It was sitting at a really good volume, and then you took one of them out, and it was a little weak for a while, but it was supposed to be. This is Cheetah Meister.
You are now listening to a Cheetah production.
Cheetah. Alright, so this art, according to this art, he's going for the radio. It's his R&B radio crossover instrumental called Purpose. So, I can't tell what's happening in the bass so far. Okay, that's the note I thought it was going to.
You are now listening to a
This is very polished. Could use a little more bass, honestly. Might just be a little too quiet. Yeah, Rock's World Peace. I was thinking the same thing. It's like a slowed down version of.
You are now listening to a Cheetah.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of. Definitely ready for the radio.
You are now listening to a Cheetah production.
It's pretty nice. Like I like. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Elliot. I think bringing the bass in so early, you could have just done just the drums for a while and maybe a couple like soft pad notes up at the top to sort of like hint at what the melody's going to be, and then bring in the bass, because I think it went on a little too long on its own. But that was nice. Like the drums were dope. Luminal Orb says sounds Timbaland-esque. Yeah, I was sort of getting those vibes as well. And the mix, I think it could have got a little bit more bass, a little bit more punch from the drums, a little bit, but it was very polished, very smooth overall. That was dope. Dope for a first upload for sure. That was Cheetah. Right, next up we got Water. This track's called Swim. Raw and unfinished. Wavy. These are the tags. Wavy vibes, Bay Area water, rappers, music, beat breakdown. I've been out here trying to get it for me. Stack up these bands as far as I can see. You know that it's golden, you know that it's right. Water we swimming produces right. Too minimalist a little bit. Got the art. It's a little slow, a little quiet. Fuck what you saying, I got it my own. You know that we live it, you know that we strong. Out on the streets, yeah, we do it our own. Wait. When I talk that shit. It sounds a little too lo-fi, like some of the sounds I'm not big on. It's got a nice like vibe to it. It sounds like a shit I've heard before, but it's nice at the same time. But going on for so long, on its own, it did get a little boring. I would agree with Flagrant. But I feel like there's a lot of people who would make a lot of songs on that shit. Elliot says it's a beat that doesn't sound convinced of itself. I could sort of hear that a little bit. It's like a little timid, little unsure. You said it's unfinished though, so I would just make sure nothing sticks out too much. Sometimes that bass, because it's a real forward bass synth, it was sticking out a little too much. And you could sort of fill in some of those dead spaces that were popping up, but not a bad start. But you'll definitely want to put some shit in there to make it more interesting towards the end. I agree with everyone who's saying it's boring. Alright, next up we got Thug Box. Crash Like Thunder. The tags on this are trap, alt trap, and future. We'll see. Kind of hard to follow at first. The way you're dropping out those claps so early on. Like that little clave in there. I think you're dropping too many snares, losing the backbeat. Cool synth sounds, but I don't think the rhythm is really where it needs to be. Like, there's a lot of, I like that you're trying to mix it up, but like experimenting for experimentation's sake at the expense of losing like the groove of your shit is not the right thing to do. So I would focus more on leaving that groove intact, and getting your sort of dramatic moments from other ways, because I think we were losing too much of like just the forward momentum, the backbeat, all sorts of shit. The way it kept dropping those snares, but there was a lot of interesting sounds and some cool auxiliary rhythm and percussion. But if that foundation's missing, then it's hard to follow. This is JP 10888. The drums are gonna make or break this. Let's hear this. Another key change from the intro. Just Blaze on the drums. Lots of key changes that have lost me. Like, if this was the only part we heard, I could be into it, but there's all these other keys going on. The drums are nice in concept, but they don't fully work at the moment. Key changes are tough. It sounds like it actually just changed in the song, and that's not like your... It's mainly between this one and the other one. When we don't have the link that was in the original song, it's hard to follow. Hey Jack Sack. Hey Tizza. I agree. Some people are saying it's a little corny sounding. It sounds a little bit like too much, like a Just Blaze wannabe beat. And I sort of agree with that. I like what you try to do with the drums and shit. But the key changes, I would sort of see if you could time stretch some of those back down to where it's not as hard to follow. key wise. Those modulations were tough. Yeah, I think that sums it up. Because, like, I mean, those key changes worked in the original sample because they went through some modulations. They, like, sort of stepped into it. But when we just sort of skip that and go from the beginning to the end without all the shit in between to lead us there, it just doesn't work. Our next up is Iyad Madani.
Emotion picture.
Oh man, I have so many beats that have this drum pattern with the full swing where it's like with the tambourine it works a little better, but it's still kind of corny. People on Twitch and YouTube said at the same time, what is this kick? Yeah, the kick's a little too much. It's got this howl to it. It sounds like butt. You probably got used to it and stopped hearing it. Yeah, these drums are kind of disjointed sound-wise. I think if you had some, like a dustier break you were just chopping up, would work a little better. These are a little too different. 2012 Felly type beat. That's a niche reference. Felly's here in Austin tonight. I always hate on Felly. Probably because I'm jealous. I don't know why he's in Austin tonight, but he's doing a show in Austin. I agree with that. 2012 Felly type beat. That's very accurate. Yeah, the kick was a little too much. Two people said it also at the same time. It sounds too much like the kick from Grindin'. Like a really bad version of the kick from Grindin'. You need one that doesn't have nearly as much like ring and boom to it. Yeah. The sample's kind of nice. I think you need to do more work than the drums on that and sort of match the sample, the feel of the sample rhythmically, and then like the sonics of the sample. So you'll want to sort of come from the same sort of place in terms of like having some sort of like vinyl dust feeling on there, that sort of thing, if that makes sense. But all right, next up. We're almost at the halfway point. Next up, we got JL Vader. Let's see. Yeah, I realized that, Elliot, right after I said that. Uh-oh. Oh, all these sounds. And a lot of it's unquantized. Oh no. No. That's too dated. I couldn't do it. I don't know why any of that was unquantized. Can't say that would fit in a beat like that to not be quantized. I hated pretty much each and every one of those sounds. So sorry to report that that's what led to the bombing, but now you know. So quantize your shit and then try and find some sounds that aren't so butt. And also like that chord progression is kind of played out. Like having horns are kind of played out, having that really weird whistle sound. It's just all played out. So that's why you got bombed. Next up is Antmar. We got an Owl City type beat. right, that's 2 in a row with sounds that are just straight butt. Nothing but butt. All right. Ja D, aka Deshiro, what do you got for us? At least if you could channel Nujabe's properly, I'll be okay with that.
Stop. 1, 2, y'all. You don't stop. It's the beat, y'all.
It's the beat, y'all.
You don't stop. You don't stop.
Man, summertime made me think about shit I never seen. Like, how am I gonna pass the 10th grade? Pre-algebra's too mean. My teacher always giving me homework. These drums are so boomy in a really bad way. And there's a little disconnect between how much swing is in the sample and how much swing is in your drum loop right now. The drums just really sound really bad right now. The drums are buried and they don't really match up with the drums in the sample, so I'm not a fan of that. Starting with like the 1, 2 and you don't stop is just like, ooh. We got the sick vibes on the art. Shedder likes the overall feel. I sort of do, but the drums are just not executed on a good level. I think if you did the drums right, it could work, but opening up with the like 1, 2 and you don't stop, and then having a really not good drum loop just really makes it seem like teenage hip hop purist type beat. So I don't know. Like, not awful, but I just think the execution on the drums really dragged it down for me. So that's what I was missing. Get your drums up. All right, next up is Scrimzula, aka Scrimalicious. It's called Spider Fingers and the Electric Raindrops. This is a year old. Sorry, Scrim, them's the breaks. All right, next up is Patch Furax. If it's older than 9 months, if it could have been born by now, that's game over. Core Mongos. Let's see. This is very, very slow. What's going on? What's with panning? Why do y'all... Honestly, like... There's like 3 of y'all that should be allowed to touch the pan knob in your mixer. Just don't pan shit. Until I give you permission. This sort of has some good vibes to it, this part. It's very slow though. And the panning, why is the panning? Yeah, and the EQ on the drum, it's too bright. We need some low end. Something weird's going on with the panning. That's fucking with my head. Don't do that. Alright, next up, we got the one, the only, Danny Provolone. Let me hit y'all with the Danny Provolone Avatar slide in. One of my favorite things to put on screen if SoundCloud ever loads. Are y'all ready for this? You submitted this before, right? Here it is. Ah, fuck. This is a revision, though. You said it. Real beat submission next week. Okay, the drums have a decent groove. They're a little too lo-fi for my taste. Just a hair. Just a hair. Like if I could get a little bit of high end on the drums, like high mids, like 2 and 3K area. Young Dannon says this is whack. Yeah, I remember this from before. It's definitely an improvement on where it was before. It's still a little boring. What's his name? His name's Neon as hell. I'm trying to read it. Blue Falcon says this is straight asshole. Oh, I skipped over a switch up. Yeah, I think we need some more variety. Really, the EQ on the whole thing, this is the best part with the bass. But when there's no bass and it just keeps going and going and going, I'm not huge on it. I think you arranged it for someone to rap on. Is that what you said? So with that in mind, when it doesn't have the raps, obviously it's going to be a little boring. But I think you could have brought more bass in. You could have gone back to that main section more often because I think that was the best part. It had the most going on, and it just really worked the best. Okay, next up, Band Clap Beats Productions. Oh boy.
Band Clap Beats Productions.
Hell yeah. All right. It's called What Goes Around. Okay. A little too bright on the drums. Let's see what happens once we get to the next section. A little empty. I'd even out all your velocities. Most of them anyway. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of low end. I like the overall vibe. I think you could clean up a lot. It's a little too open rhythmically. Oh, we got some slap going. The EQ on all the drums is, yeah. The EQ on everything's a little off. Definitely a little too bright for sure. And the mix isn't as balanced as it could be. But I like the overall vibe, I think. But I think the rhythms you could tighten up. Because parts of it are just a little off instead of being intentionally like off beat shit. Hey, Nikki Norca, or anyone on YouTube, if it looks like your shit's going through twice, it's not. It's only on your end. It bugs the hell out of me when that happens, but just an FYI, we don't actually see shit twice. Yeah, a little too bright on the EQ, and I think if the rhythms were tightened up and sort of the mix was balanced out, it could be real nice. And if there was just more low end in general, more bass, some more keys maybe, that could be real nice. Good first submission for sure. Right, next up is Veggie Burger, aka Avery Woods. Hey, yeah, don't worry. You can always go watch the recap. Wherever you submit beats, you can click and see exactly where I critiqued your beat. I'm glad someone appreciates them, Kurt Buck. All right. Sorry. Had to do it. I don't know why that crackled. Those drums, they were like kind of okay sounds in terms of the texture, but the programming is really not good. Oh, I heard some reverse shit in there. Just like the overall feel of that was just not good. As soon as the drums kicked in, I wasn't feeling it. And I almost bombed it right there, but I wanted to see where it goes. So the feel of that is why that one got nuked. Like texture-wise, everything sort of fit together, but it was just a super, super, super boring, rigid feel. So you can see what you can do to jazz it up. All right, next up is Yay 183, aka produced by Lucas. This is a Nas Kanye type beat. Oh my god.
That's why we get high. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we puff lock. Life's a bitch and then you die.
This is far too loud.
That's why we get high. Life's a bitch and then you die. Cause you never know where you're gonna go.
All the audio's crackling? Alright, give me 1 sec. Alright. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. I think it is. We'll see. Wow, yeah. That was not only super loud, but super super whack. I don't even want to know where that went. Alright. Man, I don't know. I feel like usually I like what you do. I don't know what happened. That just didn't work. Alright, next up is Troag 12. Troa G. I don't know what your name is. We only got a few more left. Let's see how they go. There's like 5 or 6 left. I know this sample. What's this sample? These drums I really don't like. Especially that reverse one. What fucking song is this? Alright, these drums are straight up garbage. They don't fit the sample. Yeah, I totally agree. Lucid sounds. And the programming's just super wonked out. So the sounds don't fit, sonically speaking, and then the rhythm was just goofy. So like the kick had no low end. It was just flat and boxy and gross. Sounded like cardboard. And then the snare was just, I don't know, none of that fit at all. This is QG on the track. The tag is pop. And the description says major. 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 Where's my fucking SoundCloud password? I take it you know you were trying to make a pop song. Oh, that fucking song. Alright. But that didn't work. Like, you can make a pop song that's good. That just wasn't. All around not great. And it was straight up sampling some other pop song. I heard it in there for a minute. That was just goofy all around. Not huge on it. Alright. The crackling is back. What the fuck? Alright. Yeah, let's try this. It might fuck up for a minute. Let me turn down my... Alright. Turned up my buffer. Let me know if it's still crackling. It was down pretty low. Before I play this one, let me know. See, a lot of people don't hear crackling. I don't know. Some people do. We'll see. Alright, next up is Dylan Rye. Thanks, love us some hentai 28. Alright, so the title of this track is Why. And I'm saying, why? I'm not just saying why. I'm saying, oh no.
Why? 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 Why?
That was I don't know what was going on there. That's like 3 weird ass things in a row. Very, very, very strange concepts. I just can't get on board with the concept. So I just gotta quit while I'm only a little bit behind instead of going way down. Alright. Next up is Chaxy Raxy. Something that feels like a cohesive beat for once. Elliot doesn't like the kick. I'm not huge on the kick either. The drums are a little too bright and a little too forward in general on this. I think the whole mix is a little overcompressed. And the drums are definitely just a little bit too loud. Someone said, if you are gay, you like this beat. I like to sort of switching the backbeat up a little bit. Contra says, need to switch up, not just some low passing. I like the overall vibe. Mix has a few flaws. Sound selection, a few flaws. But on the whole, not awful. And I liked a lot of what was going on there. But could use a little bit more variety. A little less brightness, a little more low end. But this is Bad Beatmaker, aka Gavin? Lord, no, I don't know. Who fucking knows what these names are. Stone Rollin'. Says, I'm getting better, but I'm still garbage. That's for... I don't know about getting better, but garbage is correct. This is very quiet. What's happening with these drums? You gotta have an understanding of what's going on rhythmically. This drum pattern is just incomprehensible. Alright, You got to study some drums. Straight up. You got to study some drums. Dog, what are you doing? My dog was acting a fool. All right. Yeah, that rhythm was just impossible. All right, next up is De Niro. That De Niro. All right. It's called Buffaloes. Would you like to translate this page? Sure. It's got a lot of some Japanese shit. All right. Was that Korean? Sample's okay. Let's see where it goes. I like the rhythm. Some of the sound selections was not huge on. Like that swirly organ sucks. There's some nice stuff going on in the drums, and there's a lot of other not great stuff happening. That clap, I'm not big on. Or that sound. Some dissonance here. Elliot, I agree. There's like a bunch of bongos and shit that are taking up a ton of low end. I think if you sort of high pass those, you could get some of those texture elements, but without so much boom happening. And really, I think if you almost minimalize, cut down a lot of that rhythm stuff, it would work a lot better. It's just a little too much happening right now. Nothing can really cut through except for that clap that I really don't like. And what else? I didn't like the organ sound. I didn't really fit with all the other sounds. So I'll just try and get shit to fit a little bit better. All right, we got like two more. One more. Oh, no. This is the last one right here. All right. Jim Apple, a.k.a. Marls Chingus. That name's awfully suspect. I won't be surprised if this is a joke. Okay. This is an idea. Cloudy. Let's see. Drum sounds kind of weak right now. Welcome to Jamrock Bassline. Welcome to Jamrock. Here we at this open. That's really fast synth stuff. Yeah, pretty much exactly, Kyle. You got it. Uh-oh. Fucking Imogen Heap sample, of course. A lot of that stuff could kind of work, but the mix was all over the place and a lot of the sounds really weren't good. I would nix the vocal sample. I think you could sort of make it work with just your synths and shit going on, but the chops wasn't huge on. And a lot of the sounds were just super stock sounding. But that's it. That's a wrap. That was the last one for today. Done. Beat of the night. Good question. I think that I like that Cheta No, that's what it was. That Cheddar beat. I liked, which ones? I think that was probably my favorite. Yeah. That was my favorite one. Shout out to Cheddar for getting that beat of the night status. Wasn't perfect, but it was definitely the nicest, I think. I'll play out with it. But that's a dang wrap.
Now listening to a Cheddar production.
What am I think I'll be streaming on Sunday. I know I usually say that, and then it's usually on Mondays, but I think this Sunday I'll actually be on a Sunday. So, be on the lookout there. Finish up the queue then. If you're trying to submit, it'll open up once I finish on Sunday. Well, it won't open up then, but it'll be empty, and it'll open up again Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Central. Yeah, that's how it goes. So I'll be catching up on project files and shit tomorrow. There'll be a new Start From Scratch tomorrow. What else? I think that's it. I'm out of here. I'm done. We got one more Jay-Z track for Jay-Z month. Then we'll be done. And back on to the sort of random ass selections. So yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. Shout out to everyone who watched. Shout out to everyone who submitted. I'm out of here. So late.